So I had recently read Stephen King's The Shining. My mom and my aunt always loved Stephen King. As far back as I can remember, they talked about him. I was a little let down by the book. I thought it would be much scarier. I found the foreshadowing of what was going to happen scarier than what actually happened. Now I was ready for the movie. I don't like scary movies, and as a kid, I never did. But I knew this was a Stanley Kubrick movie, and that made it very special. My interpretation of Stanley Kubrick is, he's like the Tupac of directors. He's a hero, a martyr. Like George Carlin, he used his medium to combat our elitist rulers, but like Tupac, he paid the ultimate price. To say I admire his work is an understatement. So, a friend and I chomped down on some snacks of the psilocybin variety and dove deep into Kubrick's The Shining. At this point, we were both master decoders, noticing every weird thing. He's pointing out camera angles and reasons behind using them, and I'm just floored at the changes of the story. No boiler room? What is this maze? It's like a completely different story. At least the key parts are. Wendy did not look right. The story was told from Jack's perspective, not Danny's. And not once do I remember the book mentioning that the Overlook Hotel was built
on an Indian burial ground, and I believe they actually had to repel a few Indian attacks as they were building it.
By the time the movie was done, I had more questions than answers. I definitely liked the movie better than the book. I thought it was good. It wasn't until later that I realized it was great. When the movie was done, I was far from done with the movie. I started looking up The Shining and Stanley Kubrick. There are tons of stories and conspiracies about Stanley Kubrick online. I was already half aware of that. What I wasn't aware of was the documentary Room 237, which compiles all of those conspiracies. Most are way out there, but some are interesting, like the idea that Kubrick was involved with faking the moon landing, rewriting the character Jack to reflect himself and his ordeal with that, specifically lying to his wife about it.
Ever thought about my responsibilities?
Oh, Dick, what are you talking about?
Have you ever had a single moment's thought about my responsibilities? Have you ever thought for a single solitary moment about my responsibilities to my employers?
That conversation we just heard wasn't actually dialogue from the book. It was later added by Stanley Kubrick. And it doesn't take a whole lot of imagination to picture a very stressed out Stanley Kubrick who is working for a top secret mission for the government, arguing with his real life wife about responsibilities to his employer, and what a great responsibility it would have been.
Has it ever occurred to you that I have agreed to look after the Overlook Hotel until May the 1st? Does it matter to you at all that the owners have placed their complete confidence and trust in me, and that I have signed a letter of agreement, a contract, in which I have accepted that responsibility? Do you have the slightest idea what a moral and ethical principle is, do you? Has it ever occurred to you what would happen to my future if I were to fail to live up to my responsibilities? Has it ever occurred to you? Has it?
Or how Kubrick purposely got shots of the Overlook Hotel that made no sense. Things that were physically impossible. Windows where they shouldn't be. All sorts of little impossibilities littered throughout the movie. Maybe there were mistakes, but I doubt it. Kubrick was a very smart man who paid attention to every little detail. It was said that he had an IQ of 200, and Stephen Hawking's IQ was only 160. It seemed like the Overlook Hotel had its own sinister effect on Kubrick and actress Shelley Duvall. Shelley Duvall played Wendy, Jack's wife. Apparently she went through hell on set. Her and Kubrick were always fighting.
This. Pulled all my hair. I pulled hunks of hair out on the windowsill. And the back got caught.
Need to trim those.
Hunks of hair.
Oh, look.
Okay.
It just comes out.
Okay, right now, fellas.
25 to 1.
Well, I don't sympathize with Shelley.
You don't sympathize with Shelley.
Get us in there first, and then you lead. If that's true, Jack will come in from there.
In the behind-the-scenes footage, you can see them bickering. Apparently, Kubrick was particularly nasty to her, making her job much harder than
Oh,
Jack's.
come on. What do you mean roll
2
video?
seconds.
We're killing ourselves out here, and you're going to be ready.
I am too. I'm standing
So we
right
play
by
mood
the
music?
door. No, I can't
Yeah, but when you
hear.
came in like this, you said just
We're sitting there because they say, wait a minute,
okay.
and then you say
Yeah,
on the radio,
but when you
go.
do it, you've got to look desperate, Shelley. You're just wasting everybody's time there.
I can't even get
Well,
this
push it
door
against
open.
it.
On the record, I got such a bollocking because they said, turn over, and they said, video rolling and all that, and I got all ready, and jumped up and down, and then they said, never mind, cut it. And then I went to take a bite of soup. The next thing I know, action, Shelley.
Some say that was part of his genius, to ensure she lived up to her role as a wife who was absolutely falling apart at the seams. I can't help but wonder if some part of it was a personal issue Kubrick may have had with his own wife and let it slip into his work, or maybe consciously, purposely brought it there. Either way, it was ugly. Kubrick's untimely death and the fact that one of the last moments the public saw of Shelley Duvall was her completely insane and taken advantage of by TV doctor and real-life asshole Dr. Phil brings a realness to the story of the Overlook Hotel.
I want to have you checked out by some really good doctors.
I would like that.
For free. I'll pay for
If you
it.
promise me that they won't murder me.
I promise you.
Infamously, Stephen King did not like Kubrick's version of the story. He even went as far as to make his own miniseries of The Shining. It didn't do well.
Run! Oh!
Kubrick's history and intelligence is exactly what the Overlook Hotel needed to come alive. Because of Kubrick's influence, the story of The Shining began to bleed from book into movie, and from movie into reality. Both the character and the lead actor are named Jack, in the story and in real life. In a very real way, Kubrick and Shelley Duvall became real-life fixtures or installments of the story. I think, in a horrific, ironic, terrifying, and yet truly magical kind of way, Stanley Kubrick became the next caretaker of the Overlook Hotel. Alright guys, and that's the end of the video. I'm Wmhs. It is now like 9 a.m. I've been up all night gathering clips and editing clips, but it's been worth it. I really like the video and I hope you guys really like it too. If so, please leave a like. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. But most importantly, comment in the comment section. I want to know what you guys think of this video. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Were there things that I missed? If so, let me know. I've waited a long time to do a video about Stephen King and Stanley Kubrick and all this stuff, and I'm super passionate about it, so I'm really excited to get feedback about it. So please don't hesitate. Again, I'm Wmhs, and this has been the Wmhs channel. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.